And from the foreign scene, clashes between Chad gold miners leave 100 people dead. Good evening and thank you for joining us on the news tonight. My name is Timile Falade. We begin with politics this evening. The lawmaker representing Akure North and South Federal Constituency, Mayo Kwalade, wants the National Assembly election petitions tribunal hearing disputes from February by-election to dismiss the petition filed against its victory at the poll. At the inaugural session of the tribunal, its counsel, Olawole Abiola, told the three-man panel of justices that the petition of the PDP candidate in the February 26 Akure North and South Federal Constituency by-election was incompetent and defective. OSRC's Richard Elizami reports that the inaugural session of the tribunal was held on May 13 following the withdrawal of the three-man panel of justices, Raphael Ojua, over his relationship with the petitioner's lead counsel.
Following Justice Raphael Ajua's disengagement, President of the Court of Appeal appointed a new chairman, Justice Obadigo, to head the tribunal and hear the petition of PDP candidate Olumuyiwa Adu on the outcome of the February 26 Akure North and South Federal Constituency election. After council appearances, the petition number EPT NAS 01-2022 between PDP's Adu and Mayo Kwalade, APC, and the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC, lawyers pledged to support and cooperate with the tribunal for timely and expeditious determination of the petition. Chairman of the tribunal, Justice Obadigo, said the tribunal is aware of the task before it and promised to administer justice in accordance with their oath of office and the law. After the opening session, the tribunal went into a pre-hearing phase and heard motions from counsel who presented their reliefs to the three-judge panel. Counsel to Mayo Kwalade, Olawole Abiola, and that of the APC, Bankole Alabi, in their reliefs, prayed the tribunal to dismiss Adu's petition for incompetence and being fundamentally defective, while backing their submissions with affidavits and written addresses. The lawyers also urged the tribunal to strike out some paragraphs of the petition which border on criminal allegations against some unnamed APC chieftains, hoodlums, agents, thugs, and party stalwarts on the ground of their non-joinder in the petition.
Were basically for the court to dismiss the petition on certain grounds that the petition was incompetent. That was an argument, that was what we argued both sides.
But counsel to the petitioner, Olumide Ogidon, opposed the prayers with affidavits and written address, arguing that the criminal allegations made against the unnamed persons have been settled by the Supreme Court judgment in the case of Obasanjo and Yusuf. On the vagueness of his petition, as argued by counsel to Alade and the APC, the petitioner's lawyer, Ogidon, backed this argument with Section 285 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, and therefore urged the tribunal not to grant their prayers.
And that is to the effect that every preliminary issues, every preliminary objections and interlocutory applications in respect of competence of the tribunal, ruling on it must be reserved till the final judgment, and the tribunal agreed with us on that point.
After hearing the parties' argument, the tribunal adjourned to Wednesday, June the 2nd, to continue the pre-hearing session. The petitioner will summon 15 witnesses to prove his case. The first respondent, Mayo Kwalade, will call 10 witnesses and present 22 public documents, the same number of witnesses to be called by the second respondent, and the third respondent, INEC, will call 1 witness. Richard Ilesomi, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress APC has commenced screening of presidential hopefuls seeking to fly the party's flag in the 2023 general elections. APC National Chairman Abdullahi Adamu, the party's National Secretary Yola Omishore, and other party leaders are also at the venue of the exercise. According to reports, the screening committee is led by Mr. John Oyegun, a former Edo State governor and former national chairman of the party. More than 20 party faithful, comprising 7 members of the president's cabinet, governors, lawmakers and business leaders, among others, have picked the APC presidential nomination and expression of interest firms. In the meantime, former Anambra State Governor Peter Obi has emerged as the presidential candidate of the Labour Party ahead of the forthcoming general elections. His emergence as the party's flag bearer follows his victory at the presidential primary of the Labour Party. The party conducted the primary for its presidential tickets today in Asaba Delta State with a total of 185 delegates accredited to vote in the exercise to elect one of the 4 aspirants seeking to clinch the party's presidential ticket. Mr. Obi won the contest following his emergence as the sole contestant after his 3 co-contenders announced the decision to step down for him. The other presidential hopefuls who stepped down were a political economist and management expert, Professor Pat Tomi, Olubusola Emmanuel Teller, and Faduri Joseph. Over the weekend, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar emerged as presidential candidate of main opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP). His emergence at a time of clamor for different section for a president of Southern Extraction in 2023 to take over the reins from President Muhammadu Buhari has sparked conversation on the chances for the realization of the agenda. Osrc Saheed Aribisala reports that political observers said Southern leaders must approach the call in unison in order to achieve victory. The reports will come to you in the course of this bulletin. Movements and other activities have been paralyzed as youths in Osrc, a federal local government area of Ondo State, staged a protest over a total blackout in the community for 4 months. Road users and government workers in the area expressed disappointment over the action of the protesters who blocked the major road leading to the town early today. Omoriola Hungbeji reports that security operatives are at the scene to bring the situation under control.
Demonstration has become a regular avenue to express grievances over unacceptable action, situation, or decision taken by authority. Sekiru Aluko is one of the affected victims stranded at the scene of the protest at Osrc community in the federal local government area of Ondo State. He was assigned to supply goods to customers who, according to him, had been waiting anxiously for their deliveries. The youths here are lamenting that they have been in darkness for the past 4 months, with efforts made to correct the situation, all to no avail, pointing fingers at the company handling power for handling the situation with levity. Traders are not left out as they throw their weight behind the youths.
At February 18,
These youths are determined that no vehicle or motorcycle will pass the route, irrespective of passers-by excuse or plea. This is Monday morning when business activities are expected to resume for the week.
I'm supposed to be on my way to work. It's affecting me. The money we have been built, my own family we have paid. There are more ways of doing things in a civilized way. You don't just, there's no notice, nothing, just block the way and keep people indoors.
Meanwhile, the paramount ruler of the community, the Olurese of Osrc, Oba Ahmed Saka, frowned at the attitude of Benin Electricity Distribution Company, BEDC, towards the community and maintained that he had held series of meetings with the company and community. He appealed to the youths to give peace a chance and allow the authority of the area take proper steps.
We are not the only affected community. It affects Aye, Ikota, Italy, Imo. So it's almost 4 communities that this outbreak, power shortage is affected. I appeal to them that everybody should be calm. We shall be government will come to our aid now to resolve this matter as soon as possible.
As at the time of filing this report, the youths were yet to vacate the scene. Omoriola Humbiji, Osrc News.
We'll take a break on the news tonight. You do stay with us. Thank you for rejoining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng. Follow us on Facebook, Osrc TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel, Osrc TV Ondo. A 2-day training program for the staff of Ondo State's Agency Against Gender-Based Violence is rounded off with a charge to the workers to renew their commitment to fight inhuman treatment. The Executive Secretary of the agency, Joel Ogundadegbe, told the participants that the emotional consequences of gender-based violence could leave their victims with scars for life. Joy Pius has details.
The grand finale of the 2-day training organized by the Ondo State Agency Against Gender-Based Violence to upgrade its staff was concluded with a lecture delivered by the Director of Guidance and Counseling Department in the State's Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, Mrs. Olufunke Ademuyiwa, who underscored effective counseling in the fight against gender-based abuse.
Once that person I want to counsel feels that you will not achieve anything because he or she will not do your thing. You must cooperate with you. For every session, you must have an aim. What exactly do you want to achieve?
A presentation of 2021 Violence Against Person Prohibition and its implementation strategy to highlight alternative mechanism to resolving conflict and the role of enforcement agencies in curbing gender-based abnormality, among others.
It is an adoption of the big law, that's the BAC Act 2015, which seeks to prohibit all forms of violence against every person. So it's not just about women or men. The law also makes provisions for offenses and effective remedies for conviction. The law also punishes offenders. So a good comprehensive history should be taken, which is survivor or victim tells the story the way he or she wants to sustain. When you are dealing with a patient, with survivor, a victim of GBV, you need to be patient. But we don't normally wait for incidental shift that introduce the person. Because it's the incidental shift that will tell you this is what happened. Just ask, madam, can you tell me what happened?
Participants described the interaction as timely because it availed the opportunity to discuss some of the challenges they encounter in the line of duties. Going by the convictions of the attendees, it is believed that the training would count for them in the discharge of duties. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
Nigerians must have a positive change of mind and embrace inclusive political participation in addressing issues of development in the country. Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu gave the charge at the public lecture and awards presentation organized by Sunshine Standard Magazine in Akure State capital. Joy Pius reports that the governor, who was the special guest of honor, was represented by the chairman of the State Television Corporation Media Group, Kunle Adebayo.
The annual Sunshine Standard Magazine Public Lecture and Awards is in recognition of distinguished personalities whose impacts have been felt positively in society and as well as raise opinions on various issues affecting the country. The special guest of honor, Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, represented by the chairman Osrc Media Group, Mr. Kunle Adebayo, said patriotism and a renewal of mindset is key to rebuilding Nigeria.
All of us who are here
and beyond, we need to build a new infrastructure of the mind for ourselves if this country will change. You cannot gain if you don't have pains. You cannot ask questions if you don't know the question.
Akeredolu stressed the importance of an all-inclusive political participation to turn around the fortunes of the country, adding that the media must rise up to the challenge.
You need more people, more good heads in party system in this country. You cannot sit and say that thugs are shooting or illiterates are the one controlling party or governance in Nigeria, and you have a university degree or you have native intelligence, you are sitting in your home. We must all be part of it.
The governor therefore encouraged Nigerians to always play positive roles, no matter the situation and challenges. Chairman on the occasion, Samuel Adetuyi, said Nigeria is faced with different challenges that can only be solved through restructuring.
We don't really need to begin to go into how we got to where we are and what it is that we are really going through now. So it is important for us as a nation to be very, very sincere to ourselves and say, do we want to continue in this fashion?
Delivering a lecture titled Addressing Issues of Development in Nigeria, the Available Option, the guest speaker and senior lecturer of mass communication at Adekunle Ajasin University, Akungba Akoko, Dr. Benga Abimbola, highlighted some of the causes of underdevelopment in the country and advocated true federalism as the option to realize good governance.
The federal calendar says that in anything, we must make sure that every segment is taken care of, that everybody is equally represented. Nigeria can work if we remove this kind of fake federalism, Ojoro federalism we are running. And let us come together and discuss how do we want to run this marriage.
9 distinguished personalities were honored at the event.
We appreciate the honor, but it's not really for the honor, it's really to serve.
It's just a reminder to do more, to give back to the society.
The event also featured the unveiling and presentation of the special publication of the Sunshine Standard magazine. For the publisher, Mr. Oludaisi Adetarami, the annual event is a way of contributing to societal growth.
A very remarkable work for that matter for itself and develop a very huge capacity to complement other notable media organizations in Nigeria in playing the key role of agenda setting, which is very vital and essential for our development in our socio-political evolution as a country.
This year's edition is the 10th in the series of the magazine's public lecture and awards. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
Over the weekend, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar emerged as presidential candidate of main opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP). His emergence at a time of clamor from different sections for a president of Southern extraction in 2023 to take over the reins from President Muhammadu Buhari has stoked conversation on the chances for the realization of the agenda. Osrc's Sahid Aribisala reports that no political observers said Southern leaders must approach the call in unison in order to achieve victory.
We thus urge all political parties to follow what will retain the unity of the country and zone presidency to the southern states come 2023.
One of the major conversations that has dominated discourse in the build-up to the 2023 general election is the clamor for a president of a southern Nigeria extraction. At different times, the Yoruba socio-political organization Afenifere, Pan-Niger Delta Forum and Middle Belt Forum have drummed the Southern presidency agenda. The leaders of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the South-South region have also insisted that the next president of Nigeria should come from the southern part of the country. Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, on behalf of the Southern Governors Forum, also made the same call.
The various groups, among other things, have premised their clamor on fairness, stressing that after President Muhammadu Buhari's 8-year tenure, a president from the south is important considering Nigeria's fragile ethnic posture.
I was there as a reporter when PDP coalesced and it was formed in Abuja. People only talk of the post-1998 thing. The real platform that brought PDP together was the landmark birthday celebration for the former military president, Ibrahim Babangida. It was convenient that, okay, because of the frustrations, the threat of disintegration that arose from the annulment of June 12, and the hard-won victory by the political class over our military captors, that this thing would have to rotate, that never again would any part of the country hold everyone by the jugular.
To some political observers, the cause may have suffered setback with the emergence of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar as flag bearer of the People's Democratic Party.
And I'm sure the elected delegates that represented Southeast was almost about 100. So where were they? So that means they tilted somewhere else. So it was a popular going for what they felt was good for them as a political party. So the system had thrown up their best. And maybe the Southerners also were not actually calculative to have been able to see to this extent. Ekiti State, I'm sure, had at least 16 delegates, but none of them voted for the only person, one of the aspirants, that's former Governor Yodele Fayoshi.
While concerns have also heightened that the ruling All Progressives Congress may be forced to give room for a northern candidacy, a political scientist, Dr. Adekunle Akinola, believes the victory of Goodluck Jonathan in 2011 is an indication that a southern president can still be acceptable across Nigeria.
Looking at the APC list, you have so many more people from the southern part showing interest compared to the north. You just have few northerners, maybe 2 or 3 on the list, and majority of them are from the southern part of this country. There are people on that list that can easily match Atiku Abubakar. And don't forget that in 2011, when former President Goodluck Jonathan he contested against Atiku, and he won. So I think there is this non-written consensus in the minds of the political elite that, okay, this is how, so that the Nigerian state will not resort into full-blown ethnic war.
The need for southern leaders to have sincerity of purpose was emphasized to actualize their cause, while many observers say that the electorates are becoming more conscious of the political realities. It remains to be seen if that consciousness will be translated to the selection of credible leaders in the nation's political structure. Sahira Ibisala, Osrc News.
And still on political stories, presidential aspirants of the All Progressives Congress have stormed the Transcorp Hilton for the party's screening exercise. Former Lagos State Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu and ex-Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi were among the aspirants present. Others include Senator Ibikunle Amosun, Ebonyi State Governor Dave Umahi, ex-Minister of State for Education Emeka Nwajuba, Pastor Tunde Bakare, Nicholas Felix Uju, Ken Ohanege, Ajayi Borofis, and Ken Nnamani. The screening committee is chaired by former APC National Chairman John Oyegu, APC National Chairman Abdullahi Adamu, National Secretary Iyola Omishori are also sitting in on the exercise. Aspirants removed from the list of the screening committee include Akinwumi Adeshina, Goodluck Jonathan, Chris Ngige, Timipre Silva, and Mr. Godwin Emefiele. Now to education. The National Examinations Council has announced the extension of the registration period of the 2022 Senior School Certificate Examination for school-based candidates to midnight of Monday 20th, 2022. The examination agency, in a statement, enjoined all state ministers of education, principals, commandants, and all stakeholders to note that there would be no further extension after that. The statement says the 2022 NECO Senior School Certificate Examination will commence on 27th June and end on Friday, 12th August 2022. Candidates are to be examined in 76 subjects during the examination. Our Federal High Court in Abuja has scheduled hearing for tomorrow, May 31st, on the bail applications filed by a former Imo Governor, Rochas Okorocha, and his ally, Ayim Inyere Chinyeye, who were both arraigned on a 17-count charge of money laundering. Okorocha and Chinyeye were arraigned with 5 companies on the charge filed by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The companies are Naftali International Limited, Perfect Finish Multi-Projects Limited, Consolid Projects Consultant Limited, Pramiv International Limited, and Legend World Concepts Limited. Okorocha and Chinyeye pleaded not guilty when the charge was read to them, while the court recorded not guilty plea for the 5 companies based on the request by the lawyer to the companies. Around 100 people have died in clashes between gold miners in northern Chad. Defense Minister General Daud Yahya Ibrahim said violence broke out on May 23rd at Kori Bugondi near the Libyan border, sparked by a dispute between 2 people which degenerated. According to the Defense Minister, the discovery of gold there has sparked the rush of miners from across Chad and neighboring countries amid tensions. Before we go tonight, let's take another look at the major stories. The lawmaker representing Akure North and South Federal Constituency in the National Assembly, Mayo Kunwalade, has requested the dismissal of the petition filed against his victory in Akure February by-election. Movements in Irese were today truncated as youth in the area expressed their displeasure following a 4-month power outage in the community. We told you that APC has commenced screening of its presidential aspirants, with ex-President Goodluck Jonathan conspicuously missing. And from the foreign scene, 100 persons have lost their lives as violence broke out among gold miners in northern Chad. That's the news. Thank you for watching. Good night.